CVMA, and welcome to our second live stream class ever. Our first live stream class in the new home for CVMA live streaming, which is YouTube Live. So we're a little excited about this one as well. All new recording equipment, all new recording process. So again, bear with us a little bit as we get through the beginnings of this. There might be a little bit of hiccups, there might be a little bit of quality problems and things like that as we figure out different pieces. Again, like last time, stick with us in chat, talk to us. If you're experiencing problems or things like that, we'll check our side, make sure that we're not missing anything. But overall, from what we've seen and tested, things look a lot better. Audio seems to be a little better. Our streaming quality seems to be a lot better. So I think we're in a good position here on YouTube Live. So hopefully you guys didn't have a hard time getting here. I know we went from Facebook Live to YouTube Live, so it makes it a little more complicated, especially if you didn't have a YouTube account to start with. But hopefully you were able to get in and join us. So today we're going to run the class kind of like we did yesterday, or Monday. So Monday we focused a lot on strikes, kicks, punches, things like that, some common things. Today we're going to look to focus on some of our blocks, and in that we're going to focus on some of the stances. So I encourage you again, if you run into something today that you haven't done before or something that you need some extra help on, feel free to go out to the YouTube page, our YouTube channel out there, and take a look at some of the on-demand videos we already have. We have a lot of stance videos out there right now, pretty much covering every stance that we have. So can't hear me. Can you hear me? April, can you hear me? No. You can't hear me? No. Let's see if my lav's on. Give us a second while we check our side of the house here. Yeah, we're getting audio input, so. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're working. Did you unmute yours?
Turn the volume up.
Give us a second while we check our side of the house here. Yours was muted. There you go. Yeah, everybody, so YouTube does on the live streams, I believe they mute theirs by default. So you may need to go down to the bottom left-hand corner of the video, find the little speaker icon that's got the line through it, click that once to turn your volume on. I know this isn't going to help you because you can't hear me, but hopefully when you record, you can watch the recording and maybe not run into that problem next time. Again, sorry about that. We got a little bit, some little hiccups here and there. So keep that feedback coming. Make sure that we're doing the right things. Make sure we're not missing anything. We're new to this as well, so it's a brave new world for us all. So as I was saying previously, we're going to focus on some of the blocks today. We're going to start with some of the basic blocks. We're going to spend some time on those. We're going to move into some more advanced blocks. We're going to spend a little bit of time on those, and then we're going to move up and down the floor with those techniques. So if you're alone today or you're both working out together, you can do these side by side. You can do the blocks one at a time with you guys holding pads or simulating attacks. So there's a lot of different options you can do to run through these blocks. So again, make sure you got plenty of room out there. Make sure nothing's in the way that you're going to step on, twist an ankle, stuff like that. Make sure anybody who's not working with us is out of the area so they don't catch an errant block. And we'll all get together and have some fun. So I'm ready. Hopefully you guys are ready. My production team, are we ready? Ready. All right, good. All right, so looks like everybody's ready. So we're going to go ahead and start. How do we look out there audience-wise? Do we have some folks out there? Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and start, guys. So if you want to take a second, join right up with us here. Go ahead and set that phone, iPad down. Hey, you could even put me on the big screen, which is kind of exciting. But let's go ahead and get started here. So we'll come feet together. All right, well, we'll start normal. Let's just go back to normal here. So we'll start in our relaxed position. Come trip, bring those feet together, and cognet, and bow in. All right, so let's take a second. Everybody just kind of move around, loosen up a little bit. While you're doing that, I'll remind you that, again, the YouTube channel does not just have the live streams. It also has those on-demand videos where you can go out and look at everything from stances to sequences to also our mat yoga classes and aerial yoga classes are also out there. All of our live streams, the live stream from Monday from Facebook Live has been uploaded to YouTube, and all subsequent streams that we're going to be doing will also be up on YouTube. Good part there is they'll be up almost immediately after the stream, so you'll be able to go right from the stream and rewatch the whole thing if you didn't get enough in class 1, you want to do it again. You have that option. So, go out and leave feedback on these things. Go ahead and go to the videos, like and comment, check them out, see what you think. If you have questions, get in the comments. We're in the comments every now and then. We'll take a look at the comments, and if you have a question on a particular video, we'll come in and answer it. So you can even interact on the on-demand videos as well. It's not just the live streams that you interact on. If you have questions that don't really pertain to the YouTube videos, just questions in general, hit us on Facebook. Message us on Facebook, give us a call, shoot us an email. We want to make sure we're still interacting with everybody while we're all 6 feet apart. All right, so with that being said, hopefully you're a little loosened up now. I spent the whole time talking, so I'm not, so I'm going to take a second. All right, and let's get right into just a couple warm-up exercises. So we're going to start like we did last time. We're going to start down for push-ups. How do I look, Sam? Am I still in frame? All right, new camera. So I'm working with new camera angles. So I got to check and make sure I haven't lost anything here. So make sure it gets my good side. All right, so we're going to start with the push-ups. We're going to start on the knees again first. Just to get a couple out on the knees. Again, this is a good time to work on form. So if you're a push-up expert with us right now and you want to do all of them on your feet, go for it. If you are just not feeling it today, something's wrong with your arms, things like that, you're a little sore from Monday, and you want to work an alternate, you can do all of them on your knees. It's totally up to you guys. You work your own exercise. All right, but we're going to start on our knees first. We're going to go again 45 with the back, so not table topping and not dropping toward the floor. We're going to go 45. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. All right, we're going to work our push-ups from here. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We'll start our count from here. So, go, set, net, yes, go, up, go. All right, stop and hold that there a second. Now, easy transition from knees to feet. What we're going to do is from our 45 position here, we're just going to put our feet down. We're going to roll our toes up underneath here. So we're touching with the balls of our feet. We're just going to lift our knees right off the ground here and give them a little scoot in to get our backs to the proper position. So we're going to transfer from our knees to our feet, and we'll do 10 more here. So you can follow my count. Again, if you do 5 when I do 10, good. If you're doing 20 when I'm doing 10, going a little too fast. We want to control the speed of these. All right, so here we go. Go. Set. Net. Das. Yes. Go. Good. Up. Go. All right, take a second. We're going to move right into going on our backs. I always got to remember to move the lav on this one. Make sure I don't disconnect it, make sure I don't break anything. All right, so let's go ahead and have a seat here. Again, goal for the sit-ups, keep those feet flat on the floor if you can. A little bit of movement here is not terrible, but we don't want you to lift and rock. Okay, so this time we're going to spice it up a little bit. Instead of starting in the down position, we're going to start up. All right, so this is going to be a way for you to get a different type of work on this. So we're going to start in the up position. Again, if you want the extra challenge, cross your arms this way. If you need them to help you, you can use a little bit. Just try not to throw yourself up, right? You want to try to work the abs as much as possible, isolate them as much as possible. So let's do 20 here. So we're just going to normal sit-ups, just back and come back up. All right, so here we go. Back, up, go. Set. Net. Das. Yes. Go. Good. Up. Yo. Some more. Go. Set. Net. Das. Yes. Go. Good. Up. Go. All right. So good stuff. Take a second, relax from that. For our advanced students and for some of the beginners who seem to really like these, we are going to do a couple of V-ups just for fun. So this exercise is a little different. What you're going to do is you're going to lay flat here to start. You're going to bring your back off the ground, and you're going to bring your feet up 6 inches, right? So the only thing on your ground is basically your lower back. From that position, you're going to raise up in the middle. You're going to leg lift and sit up at the same time, meet in the middle, and come back down. So that's your V up. The goal is not to lift and touch the floor. So you want to stay here. You want to lift and return, lift and return, lift and return. All right? So we're going to try, let's try 15 of them. Again, do as many as you can from here. You don't have to worry about keeping up to the pace. Advanced students do these a little bit more, so you get a little stronger over time. If they're real easy for you, take them slow. Do 5 while we do 15. And that means you're here, you're real slow to the top, real slow down, real slow up, real slow down, etc. Taking your time with it. All right, so let's give these a try. We're going to do 15 on my count. And oh, set, net, yes, yes, yo, yo, up, yo, yo, set, net, yes. All right, good, and relax that. So, again, just a little bit to warm us up. Whenever you're finished up, go ahead, stand back up on your feet here. I'm going to adjust my pack here one more time. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit for the legs. We're just going to do a standard squat. So the idea here, almost like a horse stance would be, feet are about shoulder width apart. On the outside of the gripping the floor with the outsides of the feet, as opposed to rolling them in, right? Knees directly over the feet. Joint stacking is going to be real important here. When you squat down, try not to bend your back here, right? It's not like doing weight squats where you got to position that weight appropriately. You're going to try to stay back straight. You're going to try to go down to the ground here. So again, we're trying to keep that back as straight as possible. Sitting straight down, not back, and trying to get down to about parallel, and then back up. All right, so this is, again, more of a leg workout than it is a stance, per se. All right, so we'll do 20 of these. Again, do as many as you feel that you need to right now. If you can stick with us and do all 20, let's do it. All right, so here we go. And go, set, net, yes, yes, go, good, up. Yo, 10 more. Yo, set, net, yes, yes, yo, good, up, and yo. All right, relax. Good. Take a second, get yourself readjusted here, ready to move on. We're going to go right into it. We're going to spend some time dissecting, talking about these blocks a little bit. Again, there's a lot of form behind these blocks, and the details and the form of these things are super important. If the form is wrong and the details are wrong, the block's not going to work. So, and it could actually do more damage to you than if you didn't throw it at all. So we're going to really talk about the form of these, where everything should be, and what stance that you can use to accompany this block to give you the best, the best of both worlds to make that block even more effective. So we're going to start with the down block. All right, so it's probably the first block you're going to learn in the curriculum. Spend a lot of time in the beginners class. So beginners, you're going to listen to the explanation, work through this one a little bit. And as you're going through this, you're going to try to take pictures of little pieces of detail. Where do I put the feet? Where does the block go in relation to my leg? Is it here? Is it here? Is it out there? Where do these things go? Where would the attack be coming from, right? What am I actually doing with this? And where's the rest of my body while I'm throwing this block? Advanced students, you're going to be working on the hip mechanic, putting power into it. And if you've got all that with your partner at home, or by yourself, I want you to spend some time going forward with the block and then going backward with the block while we're working on the detail for beginners. Okay? So you're going to take the opportunity to kind of split and work in different groups. If you're a beginner and you think you have the down block, still stick with me, all right, and work through the detail, because again, it takes a long time for this detail to become muscle memory. Brown belts or so have 2 years, 2+ years in the art, whereas if you're here with just about 6 months, that down block is still kind of cultivating in your mind. So stick with me, go through the detail with me, just to get a little extra time with it, get a little repetition with it. So we're going to start front stance, and we'll start on our left side. We'll make it easy. So again, we're going to put our feet together to start. Front stance is out on the on-demand video section of our YouTube channel. So if you're not sure what a front stance is, or you're having a little bit of trouble with it, go and watch that video. I go into great detail about how it's formed, how you move, how you turn, everything about it. So if we're going through this right now and the front stance just doesn't quite make sense, you have the option to go out there and refresh your memory. If you have a second phone, you can go look at that one too and then rewind this. You have a lot of different options. All right? So we're going to go out into the front stance. So set up, shoulder width apart, look down at the left foot, draw the line across your toe, put the heel at the line, draw the line again, heel at the line, weight goes to the front leg, 60-40, knee right over top of the foot just so you can see that big toe if you look straight down. And there's your front stance, right? Making sure everything is going forward, hips are forward, toes are forward, shoulders are basically parallel or perpendicular to the direction that you're going, and hips are directly in the center, right? So no leaning outside any direction like that, staying right in the center with it. All right, so let's work the down block into this. So we're going to hold our front stance. Blocks are typically thrown with the lead hand, right? Like we talked about last night, or Monday night. The lead hand is the front hand, right? It matches the front leg. So what we don't want to do is come across and go this way, right? This is a thing that you can do, but it's typically a reverse block or a rear block. This is going to be a standard down block, so we're going to use the front hand. So to set this up, I'm going to take the lead hand, and I'm going to cross it over top of my body like this. So this is a good opportunity to practice CDC recommended ways of protecting yourself by coughing into your elbow, not into the public. So it's kind of the same idea, except instead of resting your hand on your shoulder like this, you're going to bring it up to here, basically protecting the neck, protecting the side of the head, keeping everything sort of closed up. Now notice where my palm is. My palm's facing my face. So it's not turned away from me. It's facing in this way. All right? So I'm here. Now, my rear hand is going to come across my body this way. So almost like I was going to touch my left, or my lead knee. All right, so I'm crossed here. You want to make sure that you're not this way, obviously, because you're going to get trapped. Okay? So we got to be here. Now, in order to do this block, my top hand is going to slide down my bottom hand, and then the last minute, it's going to turn palm down, palm toward the leg. So it's going to slide down the arm, turn. Now notice it stops right about at my knee. So about my middle knuckle is right at the center of my knee. So not past my knee, but not inside of it. I need my arm to be able to block kicks coming into the sciatic, coming into the side of the leg. So here, all right? Now at the same time this is sliding down, this bottom hand is going to pull back. So it's going to go from here, and it's just going to pull back and turn up, palm up. So together, it looks like this. I come down, I slide down as I'm pulling the bottom arm back. I turn at the last second. Everything here snaps all at once. So you want to try to make it one motion, not two. So you would try not to go like here, here, right? It's going to be the same timing, all right? On top of that, there's a hip motion. So the hip motion is I'm going to turn, open up here, taking the rear hip, pulling it back slightly without turning my feet. I don't want to turn my feet anywhere. Open the hip, close the hip. Open the hip, close the hip. And you will get a little bit of foot turn when you're moving because you're going to go from here to there. So we're going to be on the ball of the feet here and turn in this way. I'm going to dig my heel toward the ground, bring my feet straight forward. That's more for advanced students. When you're stepping, you're going to end up here, right? But for now, beginners, just focus on keeping your feet flat on the floor. Turn the hips a little bit, snap them back into place, all right? So let's real quick practice that. So hips are going forward. You don't need your hands right now. Turn the hip and snap it forward. Being careful not to go overturned, right? Pull the hip back, snap it forward. Pull the hip back, snap it forward, all right? That goes on the down block. So as soon as this arm is ready to twist and go to position, hip's going to fire to help that process along. All right, so let's try to put this all together. Take your time with this. Do it a couple times. I'm going to let you do this a couple times on your own then here in a second, but do this with me real quick. Hands up, bottom hand across. So lead hand up, bottom hand across. Start bringing it down as the hip is opened. As you're coming down, turn it into place. All right, so bring it back up, turn the hip, and bring it down into place. One more time, bring it up, and down into place. All right, so now, before I let you go do this, we're going to try this on the other side. All right, so let's go back, feet together, shoulder width apart. Now on the right side, draw the line on the toe, move the foot up, draw the line on the toe, move the foot up, put the weight in 60-40, make sure the toes are going forward, hips are going forward, shoulders perpendicular to the direction you're going, and hands are going to be pulled back here like normal. All right, we're going to go into the down block setup, right? So lead hand, which is now my right side, is going to come up. My rear hand is going to go down and across. Hip's going to open slightly, and I'm going to break apart, right? Top hand going down, bottom hand pulling back all at once as the hip drives forward, moving the block into place. All right, so bringing it up again, and down and block. Up again, down and block. All right, so take a few seconds, try that on your own. If you have a partner, have them throw kicks. So what you're going to be doing is kicking toward the leg here. All right, so you imagine it's a round kick, right? So I'm going to round kick right toward that target, right toward the leg, right toward the outside of the leg here. As we get better with these streams, we're going to start bringing more people in, so I have partners. But for right now, as we're getting things down for the first time, I got my production team watching the monitors, making sure we're not going dark here. So I don't really have a partner right now. But idea being, again, that rear leg's going to come in and hit that outside of the leg, right, going into the sciatic. So if you have a partner at home, go ahead, play with the down block a little bit. As they're kicking, block that leg. Don't let them in there. All right. Now, as you're going, I'm going to keep talking. So follow along as best you can while you're doing the drill. You want that contact to be in the forearm. So if they're kicking and you're hitting them at your wrist, you want to move a little deeper into that block, bring them out to here. Now, you don't want to do that by leaning down. You want to do it by stepping into them slightly, okay, but maintaining that proper stance. So just be aware of where your block is going as you're blocking a target. If you're not blocking a target and you're in the air, you have to imagine where you're hitting that leg, where your body's positioned, where their body's positioned, and how you're going to be able to stop that without them kicking at your wrist and having your wrist give. All right, so got a few of them down for the down block. We're going to move into the next block. If you need some extra time on the down block, go back, rewind the live stream, listen to that part again. If you have that capability in YouTube Live, I'm not even sure you do at this point. I can't remember. Otherwise, go back and watch this stream again. Go through the explanation again, and we'll take it from there. We don't have a on-demand version of the down block yet, but it's coming. All right, so let's move into the next one, the high block. I'm going to spend a little less time on each one because I've already discussed the stance. We know what the stance looks like. We're just going to start talking about the blocks themselves till we get to one that has a new stance. So let's talk the high block. So we're going to go left leg front stance, right? So go through the process, get your front stance out there. All right. Now, the high block, where the down block protects low, the high block protects high. Sounds about right, right? So we're going to protect techniques coming over top, coming down toward the top of the head. So yes, I make simple explanations, right? That's what I'm trying to do, right? My production team is laughing at me. It's not good. This is the problems we run into. All right, so we're going to work in the high block. So the mechanic is a little bit reversed on this one. So instead of driving down toward the target, we're going to drive up. But the hip mechanic stays the same. All right, so in the high block, what we're going to do is we're going to take the lead hand and we're going to sort of create a, sort of like you're holding a ball against your stomach here and propping it up with the arm. So if I move the arm up here, I'm going to drop it, right? So I'm bringing it down low to stop the ball from rolling away. My rear hand is going to come right across my chest, right in the center, hand up, palm toward my face. So here, I'm going to make a plus, right? Now, same as the down block, I'm going to slide along the arm, but I'm going to go up this time. So my lead hand is going to slide up the arm, and again at the last second, right before it makes contact, it's going to turn over, basically palm out instead of palm in. Now be careful, don't overextend, don't show the wrist here. It's just coming up, and I'm blocking the outside of the arm, so you don't want to show the wrist here. You want to keep that arm turned down, right? No wrist here, you want to show outside of the arm. All right, so we're here, we come up, we block, right over the head, 45 here. So you don't want this, right? You want 45. And additionally, you don't want coming down on the wrist. You want the arm over so it's coming down on the forearm. So forearm's in the middle of your head here, right? At the same time, this rear hand is going to just pull straight back, right to the rib. So all together, I'm going to slide up, and as I'm sliding up, I'm pulling back. At that last second, I turn over and I block. Now, the hip mechanic is the same as the down block. It opens and it closes. Opens and closes. But now we're tied into going toward the target. So I'm here, I'm coming up, hips open, into the target this way. Here. All right? So let's try a few of these on this side, then we're going to move to the right, then I'm going to give you time to play a little bit. All right, so let's go front stance, left side. Go ahead, prep your high block, so left hand outside, right hand inside. And we're going to go up and block. So bring the hip open and block high. And return, block high. And return, block high. And return. All right, let's switch to the other side to establish your right leg front stance. Same idea, except now the arm rolls are reversed. So front hand is still cradling that ball. Rear hand right across the chest. Palm in, palm in. Slide up the arm. At the last second, we turn, we pull back. All right, hips open, hips closed. All right, so let's set up on this side. Open that hip up. All right, so good. Block high and return. Block high and return. Block high and return. All right, so now for those of you that have a partner or an attacker, the attack is overhead. So I'm going to come down, I'm just going to club you right on top of the head. I can, if you have something at the house there, like a pool noodle or something that won't knock them out if they miss, you can come over top with it and strike down. Just remember, you never block the weapon, you always block the hand. So get deep in there and block the hand. But try a couple of these on your own. Just work your high blocks. Time them with the attack coming down. If you're by yourself, just work that block here. Advanced students, you can go on and start working up and down the floor with it, turns, all that good stuff. But let's take a few seconds and work through that. And as I talk through some of the detail here, again, we don't want to show that wrist because when knife is involved, that's a quick cut. So instead of blocking and coming up high and showing that wrist out to my opponent, where if my arm slips or their arm slips, I get cut, I'm going to turn it over so that that's underneath, just in case something bad happens and I get cut. I don't get cut on the wrist. I get cut more on the outside of the arm. All right. So that's one thing just to be aware of as you're doing these blocks. Additionally, again, we're not blocking straight up in the air this way. We're going out toward the target at a 45. Right. So not enough that we straighten our arm out, but we're coming up at a 45-degree angle. What this does is it catches the attack before it starts to deliver downward energy, which gives me a little bit of extra time and a little bit of extra leverage against the attack. So just something to be aware of when you're doing the blocks, doing this high block, it's a 45-degree angle as you're going out toward the target. So you're going up and toward them at the same time, giving you that angle on the block. Okay, so let's let's come back and move on to another block, which is our inside forearm block. Now I know that The name change messes with people's brains sometimes, and that's okay. We're all still learning, right? But the inside forearm block, you're going to use the inside of the forearm to block. Inside forearm block. It's crazy, right? Now this block is typically done in a back stance, and this is because of the amount of leverage and the amount of movement you have in the body to support the block. So we real quick got to talk about our back stance just to make sure everybody knows where we're going. So to get into a back stance, we're going to put our feet together. We're going to go out with our left leg. We're going to turn our right foot 90 degrees, make our little L here. We're going to draw the line on the big toe of our left foot, pick it up and move it. Draw the line, pick up the foot and move it. I like to go a little extra half step out here just for the width for me. And then we're going to sit and corkscrew down toward our foot till our hips and body are about 45 degrees. So not toward this wall, not toward your front, but about 45 degrees. And we're going to sit back toward our foot. So the knee is going to go straight over the foot. We're going to sit straight down this way. Now, we don't want to lock that knee in place. We're going to put a little bit of bend in this knee. And the weight is 70-30. So 70% on the back leg, 30% on the front. So this one, our weight's going to be mostly on our back leg. So the inside forearm block is here. Right now, what we want to do is we want to avoid too close, too far. So you can see from a side angle here, I'm about here. I don't want to be too far out here where I'm coming like this, but I don't want to be too close where I'm not getting to the target. So it's about a 45 angle here. All right. Additionally, I'm right basically at my foot. So I don't want to really overextend this thing and bring this block out here or in here. It's got to go to my center line here. All right. So when you're doing this block, just be careful of where you're stopping it, especially if you're starting to put power into these. You got to be able to stop your block. So we're in that left leg back stance. The way we set this up is the lead hand is underneath this way. The rear hand is over top, palm down. Lead hand, palm toward the stomach. Rear hand, palm down. Lead hand's underneath. The way I usually teach this in classes is I'll say, okay, now give yourself a hug. Now straighten your arms out, or straighten out your elbows. It's about the position you're at. So you're going to come here, give yourself the hug, straighten your elbows out. Now, close those hands up. All right, so we look like this. So the front hand, which is the bottom hand, is going to come straight out underneath the arm and out to block, right? So there's that turn. Every block we do has some sort of twist to it. So this is the twist in this block here. So I come out here. The rear hand just goes from here and it turns and comes back, just like that. So to put them together, come out, and we block. Come out, and we block. Here, do it toward you, out and block, out and block. Now, one thing we want to watch is the hip mechanic here because it's a little different and it's a little more complicated. So instead of opening toward the front, we're actually going to sort of sink backwards, right? So we can't fully open this hip, otherwise we're going to bring our knee in and it's going to put us in a bad spot. So we're going to use that same sinking motion to get the hip power into the block. All right, so just something to be aware of as you're doing this. Hip mechanics are a little bit different. All right, so let's try these together here real quick, and then we'll give you a little bit of time to play. So bring the hands in, set them up. Front hand on the bottom, rear hand on top. We got our left leg out, so left hand is on the bottom. And we're going to then throw the block and return. Throw the block, return, throw the block, and return. Good switch. So now we're going to go right side out. Left leg's got the weight. Right hand, which is the lead hand, is now underneath. Left hand, which is the rear hand, is on top. So good, set yourself up there. We're going to come out. We're going to block. Go back. We're going to block. Back. We're going to block. All right? So go ahead and play with this one a little bit. Attackers, this attack can come straight in on them. So hit them right in the chest. Let them, or let, you know, and beginners, you can have them set up like this, and then throw the attack right at them. Come to here. Advanced students, you start from here. And as that attack's coming in, you catch it. All right? Catch it in motion. See if you can do that. If you're alone, you're going up and down. Walk up with it. Walk back. Turn. All that good stuff, right? So work on those actions a little bit as you go through these blocks. Take a couple seconds while I kind of talk through it on my end here. So big keys for this one are making sure that you don't overturn, right? This is one where people have a tendency to fly a little bit. They come in, they block way past their shoulder. Their body ends up turning and pulling their knee in. So this is a big structure thing that we want to focus on when we're doing this block, that we're not overturning anything, right? We're from here, we're standing in place, we're locking. The stance doesn't adjust and change, right? We don't sacrifice the stance to throw the block. And additionally, we don't block past our shoulder line, right? Shoulder line's it. That's all I got to worry about. That's the end of my box. I don't care what happens outside my box. This is what I care about is the end of my box. So I need to get that technique to all the way across and to my shoulder line, but no further. The more I open up, the more I actually make myself more vulnerable to attack as opposed to less. So be very careful. Do these in front of a mirror sometime. Take a look at them and see what you get. If you run into a problem with it, you might have to slow them down and start looking at each individual motion that you do to make sure you're not overextending by turning the hip, by bringing the arm out, opening the shoulder up, or a combination of the two. So there'll be a little bit of time to play with those. Excuse me. Now we're going to move into the sort of partner to the inside forearm block, which is the outside forearm block. So the inside forearm block was here. The outside forearm block is here. Now the stance changes, which changes the hips, which makes this look a lot different. But the arm, the only difference is this to this. That's it. But it's everything that happens down below that matters. So this is thrown in a front stance, typically. So we're going to go left leg front stance. And we are going to work through this outside forearm block. So the setup for an outside forearm block and the setup for a down block are extremely similar. So to set up for a down block, let's recap. Front hand up top, rear hand down and across. Same applies. Same applies for the outside forearm block. The difference here is instead of coming straight in front of us like this, we're going to turn the body slightly, just like we did for the down block, but we might have to turn it a little extra depending on how much, how wide our stance is and what the situation calls for. So we're going to come across this way like this. We're going to set up just like the down block. We're going to turn that hip. But now the bottom hand does exactly the same thing. It just comes right back to the ribs. But now instead of coming down, we're going to come straight across this way. Now again, we're going to end right at the line of the shoulder. So don't widen this one out, right? We're going to stop right at the line of the shoulder. You can see here I got about a 45-degree angle on my arm, right? So not straight up like this, but not way out here, right? 45 degrees. And a big thing that people like to do, and I'm not 100% sure why, is they like to turn this wrist like this. And they like to 90-degree the wrist. That's not how you do this. Keep that wrist straight up this way. Now, you might be saying, well, for knife attack, didn't we say we're not supposed to show the wrist? We did. That's why this technique's at 45 degrees, not at 90, right? We're going to protect this way from it. Again, we're protecting this direction, so we're coming in this way. If there's a slip, at least that slip doesn't come back across the wrist. Now, there's situations where that's still vulnerable, right? But when your options are block it this way or not block it at all, this is the better option that you have. So again, you're doing everything you can to mitigate risk, but the risk is not 100% gone. All right, so let's run through this real quick. So we're going to cross, we're going to come open up the hips. We're going to sit up and come across the body and block. Again, right to the shoulder line, right? Come back and block. Come back and block. All right, swap. Let's go to the right side now. Again, we're going to cross the arms now. Again, right hand is up top, left hand's underneath. We're going to turn the hips slightly and come out and block. Return, come out and block. Return, and out and block. Okay. So go ahead and work on these a little bit. Again, with partners, this attack can, again, come straight at them, then come inside, or it can be coming toward the side of their head. You know, maybe like a hook or even a kick. They can come here and work that block. If you're going up and down the floor, right, you would move up and down the floor with this block. You can turn with this block, etc. So I'm going to take a little bit of work on that while I go through this slightly on this side. So big key about this block typically is that shoulder line. A lot of people like to really extend this block. So keep it there. Keep it right on the line of the shoulder. And sometimes people bring this thing real low. They bring it down toward the chest level. We want this thing up to at least protect up toward the neck and jawline area, because that's where those techniques are going to be coming into, where this block is being used most of the time. So be careful about dropping that too low. Again, we're talking about these as blocks, folks, but these aren't blocks, right? They're strikes. They're redirections. So the situation that you're in is going to determine what height they come in at, what their target is, and how the stance is when you throw them, right? So we're showing you a baseline here just to give you options for this, to give you a starting point, basically. And then you're going to go from there and find the next step as to how to apply this in combat or in sparring or in any situation that calls for it. So, all right, hope you had some time to work on that one a little bit. We're going to go to the next step. So we did down block, high block, inside forearm, outside forearm. We're going to do one more today, and then we're going to work combinations. So put your thinking cap on for that one. That's going to be fun. So we're going to go with the inside middle block. All right, so this is sort of what I call the cousin to the inside and outside forearm block. So when you hear inside middle, what that's referring to is the middle of the body. Right? So the middle of my body is about here. Right? So the middle this way, not the middle that way. It's the middle here. It's right in my center line this way. So I'm going to block the middle of my body. Okay? So the way this one's going to work is, it looks a little odd to start, but as you get into the advanced belts, you understand why we do it the way we do it. So this one's also thrown in a front stance, so let's establish that front stance first. All right, now we're going to work the inside middle block. So the way that this works is my front hand, which is going to be doing the block, is going to come to my ear. Palm out toward the direction I'm looking. It's going to come right up to my ear. 90 degrees here, right? So, or 90 degrees here, excuse me. So you don't want that elbow to sink or to raise, right? You want it straight out here. The rear hand has a simple job. It's just going to come straight out this way, straight out in front of you, right directly in front of you. Now you're going to use that right out in front of you here as a point and target. So I'm going to try to block right on top of this arm. So when I'm done, this thing should be moving that arm out of the way slightly, right, to here. Now, all this rear arm does is it turns over and comes right back to the ribs. Pretty simple. The top hand is going to close the shoulder, come right into the middle, and again, at the last second, we're going to turn here. Okay? And everything has that little twist on the end of it. So top hand here, bottom hand here. Okay? So together, we come here to here. Okay? So let's give that a shot here real quick, do a couple of these, and then I'm going to let you guys go into drill while I talk detail a little bit. All right, so bring the hands to position. Lead hand, fist to the ear, 90 degree. Bottom hand out straight. And we'll block once, return, block twice, and block a third time. Okay. Now let's swap. Let's go to this side. Now we got the lead hand change, right? So we got to go right hand to the right ear, left hand straight out, We're going to bring it in, right? This hand pulls back. Lead hand turns over. All right, so let's try this here. We're going to set in position, and we're going to block 1, return, block 2, return, block 3. All right. So on your own, let's or with your training partner, go ahead and give these a shot. Again, the idea here is target attack is coming straight in, so you're going to work to get that past you. All right. So you go ahead and start that drill. I'll talk detail a little bit. So big key to this is getting past your center line. All right. So a lot of people when they do this block, and the camera's right in front of me here, they stop here. Well, any punch is still going to get through and strike me. So I've got to get that past my center line. I don't want to come so far that I'm starting to turn my hip over, but I do have to get that past my center line in order to deflect that punch off to the side of my head. So that's one key. The other key is keeping this arm straight and keeping that angle. On this one, we don't want 90, too close to the body, but we don't want straight out. We want that nice 45-degree angle here, a little more, a little less, depending on what the situation calls for, in order to make sure that we're catching that attack before it gets to us. So something to recall as you're going through your training, make sure that you're seeing that past your own center line. That's a pretty easy test. Look straight forward. If that arm didn't go from like one side of the eye to the other, it didn't come over far enough. All right. The other key here is it's not just your hand that has to pass your eyes. It's the whole arm. So as I'm coming here and I go this way, well, I got this downward angle here. If that punch is lower, it's coming right into me. I got to make sure I'm keeping that elbow like it's sitting on top of the table so that it kind of windshield wiper right across my whole body to give me that extra margin for error if I need it. All right, again, remember in combat, not everything's going to work 100%. Not everything's going to be black and white. So the bigger margin for error that you have, the better off you're going to be. Okay, so hopefully you got to practice that a little bit. Now we're going to move into some combination work. So we did down block, high block, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. That was it. Okay, so we got a lot to work with here. I'm going to give beginner sequences and advanced sequences. And I'm going to do this in 2 ways. I'm going to do one more for just trying to confuse you. And I'm going to do one for if you have a partner, here's what you can do to make you do a couple blocks all at once here. So we're going to start off real simple, down block, high block. All right, this should be pretty simple in everybody's repertoire. Now beginners, it's going to be tough. You got to do 2 blocks all at once. So beginners, take your time. Come here and go set up for the down block, do the down block, set up for the high block, do the high block. The key is we're not stepping right now, so it's done with the same arm. It's all done with the front arm. So you don't want to go like this. You're going to come down, retract that arm, and then go high. All right, so just something to be aware of. Advanced students, when you're doing this, walk up and down the floor. Additionally, turn with this. All right, so make this more challenging for yourself. All right, if you have a partner, they throw the low kick, it doesn't work, then they throw high to the head. All right, so you're going to be able to use both of those blocks. So be ready. I know some of you, and I know some of your training partners, be a mom and dad, they're going to relish the opportunity to get that shot in on you, especially since the stay-at-home order's been going for a while. So be careful. Make sure your blocks are ready because they're going to be coming at you pretty good, I'm sure. All right, so let's go ahead and play a little bit here. So you can follow my count. You can follow your own pace. It's totally up to you. We're going to do 10 on each side for my pace. So let's go ahead and get to work here. So we're going to go down block, high block, all one count. So down, high. And you're going to keep it there. Go. High. Set. Net. Gas. Gas. Go. Yep. Hup. Yo. All right, now you're going to swap. Again, if you're following your own pace, follow your own pace. Work what you need to work here, but I'm just giving you something to follow in case you want to follow me. All right. So again, same idea. So we're going to start down block on the right side, then high block on the right side. So you're going to start from here and high. Go. set, net, yas, yas, yogo, yodo, up, yo. All right, good. So now we're going to add on. If I get to a point where it's a little too confusing, go back and do the same drills over and over again. If we're doing a different drill, if we're doing six block combinations, when I say, Hana, you're just going to go here and wait till we're on to the next count. So you can always stop at a certain point and say, okay, this is the one I want to work on today. I just want to do this one over and over again. That's okay. All right, so now we're going to do down block, high block, outside forearm block. All right, so now we're starting to tie together here. Down block, high block, outside forearm block. So we got down block, high block, outside forearm block. This is where people are going to start really winging this thing. So work on keeping that in the right place, right? Down block, high block, outside forearm block. So you want my count, you can go with me. Attackers, right? That's that low sciatic kick, hit to the head. That doesn't quite work, so you come around with the hook if you need to. All right, or you come straight in on them with another technique, and they have to use the outside forearm block to deflect. So totally up to you. If you're doing this as advanced students and it's just you, go up and down the floor. Turn. Make it more difficult for yourself, right? And make sure that your stance isn't being compromised by your block. All right, so here we go. I'm going to just do it in place. So down block, high block, outside forearm block. So down, high, outside forearm. Oh, high, outside forearm. Notice I'm saying it as I'm doing it. That's not a bad thing to do. Say the names. Get the names attached to the movements. All right? Set, down block, high block, outside forearm. Net, down, high, outside forearm. Yas, down, high, outside forearm. Yas, down, high, outside forearm. Yogo, down, high, outside forearm. I forgot where I was at. Yodo, high, outside forearm. Up, down, high, outside forearm. Yo, down, high, outside forearm. All right, swap, do the other side. I'm not going to say the names out loud each time because I lose count when I do that. All right, so I'm going to go a little bit faster on this side so you can play a little bit. Again, you can follow your own pace if you wish, or you can follow me. All right, so here we go. Hana. Go. Set. Net. Yas. Yas. Yogo. Yodo. Up. Yo. All right, relax. Now, hope you noticed a couple things about that one. Advanced students, this is for you. You better notice this stuff. Did you notice the hip mechanic was the same for all three of those? So it should have been turn, open, turn, open, turn. Did you notice that? If you didn't, what are you doing? That's the kind of thing you want to start picking up on, right? Because that's going to help you when you're trying to chain techniques together. If the hip motion doesn't lend to the next attack's hip motion, it's going to make it not flow as well. So something you should be looking at as advanced students, knowing how the hip power works. That's part of the requirements. They're too far away, I can't see them right now. But it's part of the requirement. I think it's in brown belt, actually, about knowing how hip position and hip power is generated. All right, so now I'm going to try to confuse you because we're getting close to the end. It is my favorite time to do this. So it's going to be down block, high block, inside forearm block, inside middle block, outside forearm block. All in front stance. We're going to stay in front stance for this one. That's down, high, inside forearm, inside middle block. It's 5 blocks. So this one's going to be tough. Beginners, if you want to come with us, do this. Advanced students, if you want to come with us, do this. If not, cut it down to 2, 3, 4. Do what you need to do to work this. I got to think for attackers. So that would be, let's say I had a kick, overhead strike, coming in straight on. So the inside forearm, inside middle, coming in straight on, and then outside forearm coming to the hook. So work with them a little bit, slow yourself down a little bit. You don't have to follow a count, so you're just going to work together as a team there. And if it just gets too confusing, break a technique off, right? This is just more to get you to see the differences between each block. All right? So you do each block at your own pace. All right? So I'm going to count it, and I'm going to go a little slower so I can work with the beginners and even the advanced students to help show the transitions between block to block. But you work on your own pace. All right? So begin your own drill if you're doing your own drill. If you're following me, follow me. So, and my production team is going to keep me in check in case I do a different combination than I just told you, because I've done that before. It's tough when you're talking and then you say something and you're like, oh, that was the flow, right? No, it was something different. Happens to the best of us, trust me. Being out here with a camera in front of me is no different than me being up there and looking at all of you. I get so jumbled up here that sometimes it doesn't work out the way that I plan. So bear with me, all right? So we got 5 techniques: down block, high block, inside forearm block, inside middle block, outside forearm block. And they're all in. We're going to go all in front stance for this one. Okay, so we're not going to do any stance transition because that's going to make this real difficult. All right, so I'm going to give you one go of it beforehand. So practice it with me. We're going to go down block, high block, inside forearm block, inside middle block, outside forearm block. They all lend to each other. But again, it's a pattern you have to work through. All right, so work your transitions. Advanced students, transitions are big, big, big for you. So these better be clean as you go through them, all right? So take your time, all right? If you're working with a partner, you better block everything. Because again, they're going to be gunning for you. All right, so here we go. We're going to start on my count. So I'm going to count, and then I'm going to talk through them as you go. All right, so you go at your own pace. If you're sticking with my count, stick with my count. Here we go. 100. So you go down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Okay. So, down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Set. Down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Net. Down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Awesome. Down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Yes, thank you. Down, high, inside middle, or excuse me, inside forearm, then inside middle, then outside forearm. Go. Down, high, inside middle, inside forearm, or inside forearm, inside middle. I'm getting mixed up in my head. Outside forearm. Counting, talking, saying them all at once is driving my head, is insane. All right. Up, down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Go. Down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Good, we go to the other side now. People are like, what? We have 2 arms? When did that happen? All right. I'm going to try to go a little bit faster for me so I can make my brain work. All right. So again, follow your pace. Okay. Follow my count. Follow me. You want to get confused like I'm going to get confused? Do it with me. I'm going to try to speed it up toward the end, and I'm going to mess up too. That's okay. Secret is, it's okay to mess up. You're going to do it from time to time. Makes you better. Shows you something you got to work on. All right. So we're going to do it a couple times. So I'm going to do it a couple times slower just to get you into the pattern, and then we're going to work from there. So here we go. Set yourself up. Now remember, everything's on the other side now. So different lead. There you go. 100. Down, high. Inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Okay. Go. Down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside forearm. Set. Down, high, inside forearm, inside middle, outside. Net. Awesome. Awesome. relax. That's been a while since I've did that quick. So now let's take a second and just recap. All right, so when you're doing these blocks, take your time. Don't speed through them if you don't have to. Advanced students, if you want that little extra challenge, you can do what I was doing there where I was going through them a little quicker. But if you need work on detail, slow down. Detail does not come with speed. Speed comes once you get the detail down and you can put it into muscle memory. If you were with a partner and you were getting hit, what wasn't working? Let us know in the comments. Did you have a particular technique that wasn't working? Maybe we can take what you're saying in the comments, develop a class for that. Right? We want these to be interactive, so we want you to lead us on this. I don't have, we're not following our standard curriculum calendar right now because it's a little different schedule. And these are all about classes. So let us know in the comments what you'd like to see next. What do you want to do next? What do you want to work on? Sparring is going to be hard for obvious reasons. We can work a little bit of defense. We'll make sure we're not coughing on each other. We can work a little bit of that if we like. But you let us know what you want to do. These are your classes. All right? So get in the comments, go on Facebook, give us some thoughts on what you guys would like to see next. And we're going to put that out in the comment as well on Facebook here in the coming days, and we'll put up a YouTube post as well, just to see what you guys want to see, what you guys want to work on next. So as you're going through the blocks, take your time, say the names as you're doing them so that you can tie names to actions. Advanced students, transitions, balance, and targeting of these blocks is going to be big for you, right? So take your time with these and work on those individual pieces. If we did anything today that was a little confusing, go back, watch the explanation again. Go watch the on-demand videos. Check them out. See if they can help augment some of the things that you have, right? We're still working on building our library, so bear with us. But go out there and research, right? Go back and watch the live stream again. Check it out again. Go through the class again. Go through Monday's class, right? But keep these things fresh in your mind because it's just going to continue to connect with the things that we're doing later on. All right? So with that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed the class today. You notice that the topics are a little different because, again, I can't, the stuff that everybody seems to really, really like to do, like the sparring and stuff, it's hard to do that right now, right? Social distancing and sparring are two things that don't go together real well. So, we're going to try to get through things. We're going to do these technical classes. We're going to do these ideas, but you tell us what you want to see next, and we'll make sure we get them out to you. So hopefully everybody had fun. Hopefully nobody broke a couch, TV, or other breakable objects inside the living room. If you did, we'll figure that out next time. So hope everybody had fun. Hope everybody stays safe out there. I'm Corey with CVMA. We'll see you again next time. Woo!